Sports South.
Armed with the Majors' top pitching staff, the Giants arrived in Atlanta on Monday atop the wild card race. But over the last 3 days, it's the Braves who've gone wild, battering the Giants' touted hurlers while silencing the Giants' offense with overpowering pitching and outstanding defense. So grab some lunch and settle in. The Braves are on the brink of a rare 4-game sweep. It's the Giants and the Braves. It's the series finale next. Some day baseball in Atlanta as the folks file into Turner Field. All season long, Atlanta Braves baseball on Sports South, being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, the low price every day. Here this afternoon, the Braves take on the Giants in Atlanta, going for its first ever 4-game sweep of San Francisco. Hi, folks. Thanks for joining us. John Shambi alongside Joe Simpson. Well, everything's going the Braves' way since the All-Star break. But how about this series? The Giants, arguably the best pitching staff in the majors, and the Braves' bats have come to life.
Giants are a good ball club, and they have a great pitching staff, but it's Atlanta's offense that's really come to life. It started in Colorado and has carried over past the All-Star break into this homestand. And it's not just the guys who are in there every day. It's some guys who are more or less platoon players. It's guys who are pinch hitting. Everybody's chipping in, and they're doing it with some damage, some home runs, some doubles. And the fact that they're hitting so well with runners in scoring position and 2 outs has really made a difference. Here's what it looked like for the Giants pitching staff entering this series. First in the majors as a staff, first as starters ERA, and an opponent's batting average that was pretty microscopic. For Atlanta, 32 hits in this series, including 5 home runs, a .323 average, but more importantly, they're giving their pitchers a little breathing room. I'd say more than just a little, averaging over 7 runs a game in this series.
You got to give Braves pitching full credit. However, let's look at this Giants lineup. It's not very good. They're in the bottom 5 of the majors in runs scored, but Joe, great pitching staffs shut down bad offenses. They dominate them.
I'll tell you what they've done, Boog, that's been so impressive, is that this Giants offense is very aggressive. They like swinging at the first pitch, and it started with Tommy Hanson. It went to Derek Lowe, and last night, Jair Jurgens. They are making great pitches early in the count, and they're not having to throw a lot of pitches. They're pitching to contact, and it's really working against this, what is right now kind of a makeshift lineup for the San Francisco Giants. They're still missing Rowan today. They're not going to have Renteria in there today, so they're counting on some guys they've called up from the minor leagues, and maybe Kawakami is the guy today who can complete the sweep.
Yeah, Kenshin going for win number 6 here this afternoon. When we continue, we'll talk about some of the individual stars. Yunel Escobar, Casey Kochman been big on the homestand. We'll talk about that twosome when we return. The Giants The Giants and the Braves, Atlanta gunning for a sweep here this afternoon. John Shambi alongside Joe Simpson, Kenshin Kawakami, and Barry Zito are pitching matchup. Homestand's been great for the Braves so far, 6-1, and a couple of guys have contributed in a big way, not just offensively but defensively as well. Escobar and Kochman.
Their all-around game has been really outstanding. Escobar, of course, was last week's National League Player of the Week, and what a homestand he's having. 12 for 25, 3 homers, including a big one last night off Lincecum. Casey Kochman has hit in a career-high 14 straight ball games. But again, it's not just the offense, it's the spectacular defense these guys have been turning in. Omar Infante said today he thought that Escobar should win the Gold Glove. Well, we're starting the campaign today. We think Casey Kochman ought to be considered for Gold Glove consideration as well. No errors as an Atlanta Brave. These are the numbers for these guys on the homestand. Great work by both of them.
So the Braves look to continue the roll. They'll try for the sweep here this afternoon. It'll be Kawakami and Zito. We get ready for baseball. We'll have the lineups of the first pitch from Turner Field coming up. The Atlanta Braves on Sports South are brought to you in part by AirTran Airways, by Verizon Wireless, by Aflac, by Carrabba's Italian Grill, by Academy Sports and Outdoors, and by Dodge. Well, the sun has peeked out from behind the clouds here at Turner Field. We get ready for the Braves and the Giants. Atlanta gunning for a sweep. Kenshin Kawakami going up against Barry Zito. Braves playing great baseball. And how about our Toyota starting lineups for Bruce Bochy and the Giants? 15th in the National League in runs per game, but Randy Wynn, last 21, he's been red hot and as well a Braves killer. Going back to last season, he has been unreal. Sandoval, the switch hitter, will bat third, and Benji Molina will clean it up. Kenshin Kawakami making start number 18, pitched well his last time out but took the loss.
He did indeed. 6 2/3 innings against the Mets, gave up only 2 runs, and it was a 2-1 ball game when he came out, but the Mets added to it, won the game 5-1. And for Kenshin Kawakami, 4 keys to the success for him today, very much the same as they have been all year long, and that is throw strikes, cut down on the walks. His last 17 innings, he's walked 9 guys. And with this team, as we pointed out in our pregame comments, they are a lot of first pitch swingers. He can get some early outs. He doesn't have to pick around in the zone. They will swing.
So KK on the hill, the 34-year-old native of Japan. And Randy Wynn stands in. Here's the first pitch of the game. Too high, ball one, and we are underway. Randy Wynn, the West Coast native and a free agent at the end of the year. Here's a 1-0. Even up. Braves got a brilliant performance from Jair Jurgens last night. He is tied for the National League lead in most starts allowing 2 earned runs or less with Dan Herron. And Herron, a legit Cy Young Award candidate.
He's outstanding, and at one point retired 17 in a row last night. He was breezing. Kawakami pitched against the Giants May 27th. Pitched into the 6th inning, gave up 3 earned runs, but again lost 6-3.
Wynn chases that one, stays alive, 1-2.
Talked about Randy Wynn and his success against the Braves during this entire series. It goes back actually beyond last year too. He's hit in 16 of his last 17 games against Atlanta with a .484 average. Wow. 30 for 62. They had Aaron Rowan leading off, but Rowan got hit with a pitch, his first at bat of the series, stayed in the game in game 1, but couldn't throw, and has not played in games 2, 3, or today.
The 1-2. And a little dribbler that Kawakami pounces on and slings to Kochman. First out of the game. And with 1 down, let's take a look at the defense in back of Kenshin Kawakami here this afternoon. Diaz, McLeod, and Church in the outfield. Jones, Escobar, Prado, and Kochman on the infield. And Kawakami and Ross, the battery. Brian McCann, the day off. Back to left field for just a moment. Matt Diaz starts out there. Garrett Anderson has brilliant numbers against Barry Zito. Woke up with kind of a stiff hip here today, and so Bobby Cox went with Diaz in left and Church in right.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, I know his numbers are good and you'd love to have him in there, but to give Garrett Anderson a day off, to give Brian McCann his first day off since the All-Star break, and he didn't get much of an All-Star break, as you know. That's a good thing for both those guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, as guys get into their careers, specific to Anderson, not Mac, they're going to need days off. In the NBA, the box score is, when it's coach's decision, it says DNP-CD. I was teasing Garrett Anderson. I said, well, so can I say DNP old? And he started to laugh. He said, yeah, I'm old. They know it.
That's good.
He's got a good sense of humor. So he's been swinging a hot bat, good numbers against Zito. I would assume he's available to pinch hit here this afternoon, but we will wait and see. But he's been great lately. The 2-1.
When I talk about Kawakami's keys being kind of the same all year, it goes back to his control in Japan. The last 3 years in Japan, his walk total was 39 in 215 innings, 23 in 167 innings. Last year, 25 in 117 innings. So 39 was the most over the last 3 years, and that was in 200-plus innings. He's already walked 40 this year in his first year in the major leagues, and that's only in 95 innings.
He's gone the distance on Lewis. And ball 4. So Fred Lewis will take his base.
These guys will help you get themselves out. You don't have to pitch so carefully.
Sandoval takes a little walk out in front of the plate. It's always interesting. He does this thing where he gets into the box and then steps out and walks forward into fair territory and then kind of does a little shuffle, knocking the dirt out of his spikes, but tapping the front of his spikes.
It's like he's about to charge the mound and nothing's happened. Braves have handled him in this series. He's just 1 for 12.
Fred Lewis has 6 stolen bases. He has been caught 4 times. He's got good speed, but 60% not where you want to be as a base stealer.
And David Ross 11 for 28 throwing base stealers out, 36% in his career.
Braves overall have just been doing a great job preventing runs, sort of using that combination of pitching and defense together to stop the other side from scoring. And Escobar's been playing some of his best defense. McLouth has been playing well out there, and of course Kochman at first.
Ryan Church made a terrific catch the other night when he came in to play center field for McLouth.
Running grab, banging into the wall. Ball and a strike to Sandoval, the switch hitting third baseman. And he misses away, 2-1. Again, Kawakami, you talked about the command. You know, let's be fair. There's a fine line between a reason and an excuse. I mean, you can't even imagine the adjustments he's had to make coming over to the United States. Forget about the baseball stuff, just culturally making sure that he can get food that he likes, that type of thing. As far as finding his way around, the language barrier.
Very difficult.
There's our man Daichi who helps him out, translator. Daichi Takasu. Ripped down the line, fair ball, says third base umpire Tim Timmons. And Fred Lewis are going to wave him. Escobar throw to the plate, safe. Yunel Escobar and Matt Diaz are both saying to Tim Timmons that a fan touched the ball.
No, I think it hit the ball boy, Boog, and that should have been a ground rule double, but immediately Timmons waved it off. Bobby's going to get an explanation, but the ball boy down the line was trying to get his chair out of the way, and the ball came off the wall and hit him. And the umpires are saying in play. Hit came off and hit him in the foot. No place for him to go. He was trying to get out of the way, just couldn't get out of the way of that carom.
So now it's Molina. Sandoval knocks in his 57th run. And strike one to Benji Molina, who's been a hot hitter. Molina last 14 hitting .340. You see that on base percentage. He is a tough guy to walk.
They only had 2 hits going into the 8th inning last night, and he had both of them. A single off of Jurgens in the 2nd, another single in the 7th.
One out, man at second. That one fouled back. I think that might have gotten into the Giants booth back there.
Probably well defended down there. Kuiper and Krukow.
Breaking ball lifted in the air to left. Diaz drifting back and makes the grab. Sandoval bluffs the tag. There's 2 down. That ball carried more than I thought it would. He had him out on his front foot with the breaking pitch, but still got a decent piece of it.
It'll be interesting to see what the ball does today. The temperatures have been very mild in Atlanta for late July, almost fall-like. And today's game time temperature 80 degrees, supposed to get up maybe mid 80s, and high humidity. The humidity is higher than it's been the last couple of weeks, so that may play a role.
So man at second, 2 down for Nate Scherholtz, who starts in right field. Kawakami kind of all over the place so far.
So far, and you want to make good pitches with good first pitches to these guys, but they've got to be somewhere where the hitter will at least be tempted to swing.
And now 2-0. Braves after this one head off to Milwaukee, a 3-game weekend series with the Brewers at Miller Park, and then it's off to South Florida, an off day on Monday, and 3 with the Marlins.
It'll be hot down there.
HOT. Fouled off the mask of David Ross. 2-1. Good opportunity, though, go up against the team in the wild card race in the Milwaukee Brewers.
They've been struggling offensively. Hard to figure there.
And the pitch. High fly ball, well hit right field. Church back some more, and hauls it in, and then wanders out of the track. So just the 1 run on the Sandoval RBI double, end of a half inning. The Giants won. The Braves coming up. Bottom of the first, Braves down a run, coming up to hit John Shelby and Joe Simpson. And how about some Toyota starting lineups? Braves have moved to 6th in the league in runs per game. McLeod, Prado, Jones in front of Yunel Escobar, who's been locked in at the plate. Then Diaz, Ross, Kochman, and Church. And Garrett Anderson with that sore hip not playing. As Barry Zito deals strike 1 to Nate McLeod.
31 years old, 6'4", 215 out of San Diego. Works fast, as you can see. We'll try to get some stuff in on him. He's a guy who likes to get it and go. Kind of a Woolworth pitcher this year, Boog.
I'm sorry?
He's a Woolworth pitcher.
Popped up, Uribe squeezes it for the first out. Yes, sir.
He's 5-10. Zito against the Braves, 2-1 in his career with a 2.84 ERA. Keys to success for him. He owns this lineup. The guys that are in there today, they are just 2 for 26 against him. But his career after the All-Star break, 70-37, and the Giants are hoping that his second half's a whole lot better than his first.
Yeah, his second half ERA in his career almost a full run better, 4.23, and then it drops to 3.47. And as Joe mentioned, the record gets better. Prado now. Braves made a move before the game option Brooks Conrad back to AAA Gwinnett, activated Kelly Johnson from the disabled list. And it's 1-1.
Kelly's last 2 or 3 games at Gwinnett, he was tearing it up. And he was running out of time. They had to do something with him by Friday and elected to move it up a little bit. I hate to see Brooks Conrad go. He had played extremely well in Kelly's absence and gave Bobby some flexibility off the bench because he was a switch hitter with some power.
The 1-2. And Fred Lewis to his left slightly. There is 2 down. Today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 177 countries and aboard ships at sea, watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome you guys, and we thank you for keeping us safe and for all your hard work.
We appreciate all of you. Ray Zito has a fastball that's not overpowering, 88 to 91, somewhere in that range, but a terrific curveball, one of the best in the game.
There was a stretch of time when he was struggling last year when the velocity really had dipped. There's a good changeup off the end of the bat, and Ishikawa handles it himself, and Zito gets the Braves quickly and quietly on 9 pitches. Your local Ford dealers. By Wendy's, by Texaco, by the Georgia Lottery, and by AirTran Airways. Back at the ballpark, we go to the second. The Giants by a run and a Pablo Sandoval RBI double. Travis Ishikawa will start it off. Ishikawa, then Uribe, and then Downs. This team likes to swing a lot. They are next to last in the National League in runs per game, next to last in home runs. Only the Mets have hit fewer home runs than the Giants.
They have not hit a home run in their last 6 games.
Line drive and a base hit left field. Last year, San Francisco hit the fewest homers in the majors, and it was the fewest home runs in a full season since the expansion Marlins in 1993.
No kidding. Well, they have not really done much to try to beef up their offense. They've applied it to pitching, and that's understandable, but they are in the market to try to find some offense somewhere. And as I said a couple of weeks ago, you look at this team, they're not limited to trying to just find a left fielder. They've got lots of spots they could plug somebody in.
Now, one of the things with Sandoval is he can play both corner spots. So if it came down, they could find themselves a first baseman or a third baseman. But yeah, they need some help offensively for sure.
A guy like Scott Rowland, who's available, would really be a big addition to their team. Adam LaRoche traded yesterday from the Pirates to the Red Sox. They need some offensive help.
Kawakami falling behind 2-0. Kenshin having trouble throwing strikes.
If he continues to pitch behind in the count today, and we're only in the second inning, and he's only down 1-0, it's going to be a short day for him, and he's not going to like the outcome.
Popped him up. Prado and Escobar. I don't know if Martin sees it, but Unel does. And there's one away. I mean, on pretty much every pop-up, all the infielders will look up and then immediately look to see where Unel is.
He likes taking over. He likes catching the pop-ups. The higher, the better. And you do need the shades today. Sun coming in and out behind the clouds.
And here's Matt Downs, their second baseman, who comes up empty on a good heater from Kawakami. This guy called up yesterday and took the roster spot of Kevin Franson. Downs played his college baseball at the University of Alabama. He was a pitcher and an infielder for the Tide. You'd have to say, in terms of college baseball, the SEC produces as good a group of teams year in and year out as you'd find.
Yeah. Great source of talent, too, in the South, Southeast.
Nice curve. Foul chipped into the mid of Ross.
Went back to back with that slow curve. Didn't get the call on the first one, but got a swing and a miss on the second. Try there.
Just missed. You could tell Kawakami wanted that one. We mentioned adjustments for Kenshin. Talked about off the field. Well, between the lines, I know one of the things he's had to deal with is understanding the American strike zone. I think overall he's felt it's a tad smaller than the Japanese zone. Wow. Big swing and a miss. First strikeout of the afternoon for Kawakami, and there's two away.
His reaction to not getting the call on the pitch before is as demonstrative as we have seen him. That pitch was nowhere near being a strike, but with two strikes already on him, Downs couldn't afford to take a chance. Again, these guys will swing, and they won't necessarily swing at strikes.
Strike to Barry Zito, who's hitting 107. Zito, who got so much attention for signing that mega deal in the offseason between 2006 and 2007, and moved across the bay from Oakland to San Francisco.
$126 million over 7 years, and an option for a couple more beyond that.
After this year, they're still on the hook for $83 million.
You can understand, though, why the Giants went the extra mile to get this guy. His record in the American League, 102-63 with the A's. 102-63 with an ERA of 3.5.
That one poked out to short on a bounce, and Escobar will toss to Prado. That's the inning. Leadoff single doesn't hurt Kawakami. We're midway in the second. fielder Ryan Brunner. The Brewers, our coverage begins 7:30 Eastern with Braves Live Sports South. Your home for the Braves all season long. It's why we say this is our team. And, of course, available in sparkling high definition. There's Daichi along with Roger McDowell and Kenshin Kawakami. It's got to be interesting how that process works. I mean, I know that he understands, Kenshin does, the rudimentary stuff English-wise, and Roger has some Japanese he can work, but yeah, Daichi necessary in those spots.
And he has to be on the mark with respect to exactly what's being exchanged so that the line of communication is accurate.
Escobar hitting cleanup here today. And he certainly cleaned up last night. Took Tim Lincecum out of the park. This one lifted to right. Well hit down the line, and that one is fair and gone.
Hit the pole.
How about it? He stays hot, number 11, and we are tied at 1-1.
It's his fourth home run of the homestand. And he's up to 11 on the year. Fastball up and away. Again, you can't pitch him any one way. And dings off the pole. We got one of our camera operators.
Diaz rips that to right for a base hit. That home run, the 14th Zito's allowed this season.
And the 12th to a right-handed hitter. We're talking about Zito's numbers in the American League and how great they were, and the fact that the Giants really opened up the purse strings to sign him, and you can understand why with those numbers in the American League just across the bay. So that area familiar with him, fan favorite. But it hasn't translated to the National League. His record with the Giants, 26-40.
And his ERA up over a run. His career American League ERA, 3.55. In the National League, it is 4.84. So about a run and a third worse in the NL. And for the most part, the translation or transition usually works the opposite way. It's usually a Ted Lilly scenario. You go from pitching in the AL or the AL East and you come over to the National League, your ERA usually goes down.
Yeah, and get a pitcher to work to every 9 hitters.
And not to mention, look, Oakland's a very good pitcher's park, but AT&T Park is a good pitcher's park itself. It's one of the things about, for all that Barry Bonds accomplished, it kind of during that stretch obscured the fact that it was still a pitcher's park and a tough home run hitter's park. Rip but foul. Ross got all over that one. They have this sound effect, by the way, they play here at the ballpark. Different sound effects, but on foul balls. But for whatever reason, and I like it, every once in a while, about 3 or 4 times a game with a foul ball, the in-game entertainment people will just play Chewbacca roaring. In the air, right field, slicing. And Sherholtz can't get there. And the reason I brought it up is because I don't think there's anybody on the team that does the Chewbacca impersonation better than David Ross. And he and Chipper Jones will basically talk to each other in, I guess we'll say Chewbacquese, in the clubhouse, back and forth. Wookiee talk. It's a good point. Thank you, Bill Cochran. It is Wookiee talk for all you Star Wars.
I'm going to have to tune in.
Oh, man.
I've always wondered what the connection was to playing that roar on a foul ball at a baseball game. Now I have a connection.
Yeah, it's just odd. I don't think they do it because I don't think they play it because those guys can do the impersonation. I think those guys do the impersonation because they play it. Three and two with a man at first. A 1-1 game on Escobar's homer. And he got him to foul tip that one into the mitt of Molina. Struck him out. First strikeout of the day for Barry Zito.
He throws strikes. Doesn't walk guys. 3-2. Fastball. Outer third of the plate. Threw it by him. He's only walked one guy in his last 3 starts plus 2 innings, covering 21 innings. He's around the plate.
And now Casey Kochman. And Casey has hit in 14 in a row.
A career high.
Solid on base percentage. He's played great defense. Runner goes. Throw down to second, tag. Got him. Diaz gunned down. And Matt with a couple of words from Mark Wegner. 2 away.
First time Matt's been caught this year. He's been a perfect 4 for 4. Molina doesn't have a rocket arm, but he's got a quick release, and he got a great pitch to throw on too, and an accurate one.
Two and two now to Kochman.
Oh, that tag is way late.
Yep, and that's why Matt Diaz was complaining.
Way late and way high in terms of on the body.
Tapper that Zito collects and fires over to Ishikawa. That's the inning. Braves, though, get the homer. Yunel Escobar off the foul pole. 1-1. We'll go to the third. You know your music getting from Verizon Wireless. What Braves player likes listening to Ozzy Osbourne on his wireless phone? We'll tell you in the bottom of the third. Could it be Casey Kochman? Wait and see. Randy Wynn to start it off. And ball 1 to the leadoff man.
Chipper Jones, the guy that has Crazy Train played when he comes to bat.
I love that you know that that's Ozzy Osbourne.
think that's been Chipper's song since he came up.
Did you ever watch that Ozzy Osbourne reality show?
I did. I saw 2 or 3 episodes of that.
What a giant train wreck that was.
Oh, my.
Here's a 2-1 to Randy Wynn. Hazy afternoon, sun in and out. And so most of the players with sunglasses on. Diaz settles under this, and Matt makes the grab. He's got the shades on. He's got the flip downs, old school style. One away, bases clear. A 1-1 game. John Shelby and Joe Simpson with you. We are off to Milwaukee after this one. 7:30 tomorrow night, Dodge Braves live. Game 1 of the series. And the Braves will throw Javier Vasquez against Manny Parra, who's been good since coming back from the minor leagues. Lewis fouls that out of play. 0-2. Javier Vasquez leading the Braves staff along with Jair Jurgens, the #1 starter's ERA in the majors. Credit Frank Wren for the staff he's put together. I mean, no matter what you want to say, this is a team built in a similar fashion to the bulk of the teams that won those 14 straight division titles.
It is indeed. And they're playing the kind of defense right now that you would hope to see behind this type of staff.
Like a two-seamer running away from Lewis. And it's outside for a ball. Lewis walked and scored on the Sandoval double. That was his first time. He's only 1 for 14 against the Braves this year. Bounced foul. A quick look there at Frank Wren along with John Sherholtz.
They only have a couple of guys in their lineup that have done any damage, and most of that was in San Francisco when they swept the Braves. Ishikawa was 9 for 19. Uribe 7 for 19. And Randy Wynn, of course.
Good pitch. Just missed inside. And now 2-2. Giants in the thick of the wild card race. And playing in what I think a lot of people thought was going to be a pretty weak division. And it's turned out to be arguably the toughest division in the National League.
It is for anybody that's looking up at the Dodgers because they've run off and left everyone. Braves have moved up on the list with their good play of late.
3-2 now. Towards the hole. Chipper scoops it up, fires on the run. And a nice dig at first by Casey Kochman. They get the fleet-footed Fred Lewis 2 away.
It's a good play by Chipper because he had to really extend himself. I don't think Escobar's got a chance at all, even if had gloved it. And more stellar work at first base to save the infielders. Casey's been outstanding.
He's just been brilliant. How about that backhanded play down the line that he made the other night?
Had to be quick on it, too.
Sandoval with a double his first time. He got a pitch that was outside and just let it get really deep and then was able to lace it just inside the third baseline.
That's what happened in the first inning. Right over the bag, and then it came off the wall and hit the ball boy. And that kept it away from Escobar long enough for the run to score.
Hey, you mentioned the Dodgers. Did you see Manny's grand slam last night?
I did not.
He was out after getting hit on the hand by a pitch, so he was not in the starting lineup in the 6th inning of a 2-2 game. He had a pinch hit grand slam, and the place just went bananas as he came to the plate and when he hit the home run. I guess Vince Scully said it was as loud as he's heard Dodger Stadium in 20 years.
I wish I'd seen it. I was probably about that time watching a lot of taillights. I don't think in all the time I've been in Atlanta I encountered a jam up like I did last night after the game. After the Braves game let out and then the 50,000 at the Georgia Dome came out at the same time following a soccer game.
Who played in the soccer game?
AC Milan and the U.S. team.
Okay.
In a friendly, as they call it. I can tell you this, it wasn't friendly on the connector.
Yeah, believe it.
Brutal.
A lot of people saying you're number one, right?
Uh-huh.
3-2 with 2 outs and the bases empty. And Sandoval will take his base. That's the second walk that Kawakami has issued. So 2 down and a man aboard. And Benji Molina will stand in. 1-1 game. We're in the 3rd.
60 pitches already for Kinchin. It's going to be more than that because of the walk. I will say this, he's got a little bit of a tight zone working right now. Jeff Kellogg hasn't been giving him anything on that corner near the left-handed batter's box.
Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief here. Talked about that home run by Manny Ramirez. Vince Scully had a great line after he hit it. He said, "That's even more Hollywood than Hollywood." Talking about the moment. And then I guess somebody probably put it in front of him. He said, "Yeah, that's right. It's Mannywood." Center field, McLouth coming in. Put the sunglasses down. He's got it. That's the inning. No runs, no hits. So walk. The Giants lead 1. We're tied at 1 into 2.5. Bottom 3 tied at 1. The VCast music with Rhapsody. Know Your Music inning from Verizon Wireless. We asked you earlier what Braves player listens to Ozzy Osbourne on his wireless phone. How about an answer, please? Chipper Jones. Now, by the way, somebody pointed out on the Facebook page, and it is true, Crazy Train is the song that he comes to the plate to. He has since somewhat altered it.
Who has?
Chipper, because he now actually comes to the plate to Let's Go by Lil Jon, L-I-L apostrophe. And he samples Crazy Train in the song. Driven in the air, right field, well hit. Sherholtz back at the wall, and he made the grab. What a catch. Nate Sherholtz banging into the fence and may have stolen a homer from Ryan Church.
Indeed. He took a look back at the fence and then timed this perfectly. Not sure if it would have crossed the yellow line or not, but a great catch nonetheless.
The Church has an extra base hit stolen, and now it is Kawakami.
So Chipper's song is a bit of an altered version. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's you know how they have these rap songs now that will use the basically a line or the hook, as they say, underneath the song.
I do that a lot.
I know you do.
I do that a lot when I'm singing in the car. I'll take a little Baby Got Back and mix it in with some Roy Orbison. Goes well together.
Baby got only the lonely. Yeah, I like it. Bound back our way. Come on. And a walk to Kawakami. How about that? A one-out base runner. Can I give you props for just 1 second?
Sure.
I think we could sit here for an hour, and I would not be able to come up with a funnier combination than Roy Orbison and Sir Mix-a-Lot. I would just like to say that right now. Just like to give you credit for that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, 1-1 game with one out, man at first, and McLouth at the plate. Nate popped to short his first time. Braves and Giants in the series finale. Atlanta trying for its first ever 4-game sweep of the Giants. Now, the Braves franchise has done it. That was back in 1960. McLeod trying to beat out a double play ground ball, and does. Nice play at first by Ishikawa, so he does not. 4-6-3, that ends the inning. Chattanooga Joe with you. And how about the little duck in your life? Aflac trivia question. Gretchen Caney, who are the only two active left-handed pitchers with more innings pitched since 2000 than Barry Zito? Gretchen Caney, are we going to get this trivia question? I just got a you should absolutely.
Nominees: Randy Johnson, Jamie Moyer, Randy Wolf.
How about Andy Pettit?
Love Pettit. Love Pettit. Tom Glavine.
Sherholtz, Ishikawa, and Uribe, a 1-1 game, top 4. Helicopter going by, chopper if you will. The 1-0. You ever been in a helicopter?
I have. It's very, very interesting, and it's a great view and all that, but a little unsettling for me.
The 1-1. Pushed foul. I think they just played Darth Vader's theme on that last foul ball.
Did they?
Oh. Our guys here at the park are on top of it. 2-2. In the air, right field. Church back. Ryan back some more, and he's got it.
He gets a good jump on the ball.
I was just thinking the same thing.
By the time you look up and see where the ball's going and find the outfielder, in this case Church, he's well on his way. And very sure of himself. Nice play.
1 up and 1 down. And the first baseman, Travis Ishikawa, single to left his first time. Any other potential candidates? Since 2000. Ground ball, base hit right field. So Ishikawa's 2 for 2. 1 out, man aboard. Folks, the Braves and Dodgers series is coming up at the end of the month. Get your tickets now to see the Braves take on Manny Ramirez and the Dodgers here at Turner Field. Don't miss Publix Friday Night Fireworks, July 31st, and $5 tickets for Ultimate Kids Day on August 2nd. For tickets, visit Braves.com/tickets.
Ted Lilly.
I was thinking that. In the air to right towards the line wanders Ryan Church. He's got it. And there's 2 down. I don't know. I feel like Ted Lilly, I don't know if he was getting
enough action.
Big innings,
yeah.
But we'll throw him on there. That is a good call. Two down with Matt Downs at the plate. Giants got a run in the first on a Sandoval RBI double. The Braves got a solo homer in the second from Yunel Escobar, and that's where we are here in the fourth. Got him to chase there. It's 1-1.
Took a little off and had a little sinking action on it. Good pitch.
That floater missed upstairs. That was the pitch he got him to swing and miss at for strike 3 in the second.
It's a good point. This time didn't offer, and maybe he didn't offer because he didn't have 2 strikes.
That pitch count is climbing. By the way, I got it wrong. That altered version of the Ozzy Osbourne song is actually by Trick Daddy. I believe it is Trick Daddy featuring Lil Jon, but it is a Trick Daddy song.
Trick Daddy featuring Lil Jon of an Ozzy Osbourne song. Drop in.
Escobar going out and charging in Matt Diaz. It'll be the shortstop. End of 3.5. We're tied at 1 here at Turner Field. One game, bottom of the 4th. Starting to rain a little bit. Scattered shower here at Turner Field. And our Aflac trivia question. Aflac! Who are the only 2 active left-handed pitchers with more innings pitched since 2000 than Barry Zito? CC Sabathia and Andy Pettitte. How do you feel about that?
I like that. I like that.
All one.
Sabathia's been around long enough.
Okay.
I mean, Zito's a guy who has never missed many starts. He's gone to the post just about every time it's his turn for a long time. So it's somebody who's pitched a lot of innings. Got him.
See, now Mark Burley is somebody that we should have had on our radar. And I'm going over all the teams, and you just forget about him. But he's been around a while, and a guy who hasn't been hurt and been good.
And he's good.
And one of the things that's so interesting to me about Mark Burley, he is from Missouri and is a huge Cardinals fan. To the point where, like, he's got a Cardinals hat. And is very open about the fact that he'd like to pitch for St. Louis at some point.
Okay, yeah, I hear what you're talking about. I'm digging it now.
Yeah, I know you are.
Change the song a little bit. I like the old one better. What's new? Good circle change from Zito. You see the high leg kick even out of the stretch. Then his elbows start flapping towards you, and you get all wrapped up as a hitter, ready for the fastball and good arm action, and it's not going to get there in time. He throws the curveball the same way. Mentioned that he's won 2 of his 3 games he's pitched against Atlanta, and both of the wins came here.
Chipper down on strikes and didn't like the call from Jeff Kellogg.
Like a backup fastball. 2-seamer. And he hit the target. I guess Jeff Kellogg gave him the credit of hitting the target. He hasn't been generous with the corners, but he was there.
Yeah, it looked to be in. Foul ball and 1-1. Time for our air trend. How far did it fly? Homer the other way. And we got it at 337.
That was pretty easy. It's 330 to the base of the pole, so you just go up a little bit. Figure the flight of the ball would have taken it another 7 feet. You have to factor all that in.
Sure. Guys have their names stitched on their gloves when you played?
It was coming in. Yes. Mizuno, I think, was the first glove manufacturer to do that.
Three and 1 to Yunel Escobar with 1 out and a man at first, locked up in a 1-1 game. And a strike to Yunel. Man.
Change up. That was high. Where he caught it was pretty close to a strike.
So 3 and 2. Here we go with Prado at first. Runner goes, pitches low, and the Braves in business. 2 on, 1 out. Matt Diaz coming up.
He'd only walked 1 in his last 21 innings, and he's walked 3 of the last 5 guys he's faced. Braves need to try to capitalize on that.
The rain's pretty much stopped. Might be spitting a little bit. Diaz rips one and foul. Just foul. Tim Timmons down there.
A lot of off-speed pitches this inning from Zito. Might have been that Matt was looking for it, but hooked it a little too much. Obviously, when it rains, if it gets to be too much, they pull the tarp out on the field. How about the big drum out there in center field? It's got a tarp too.
I like the drum's got a tarp.
Mm-hmm.
Matt a little bit late on that fastball. Sox have Barry Zito in a little bit of trouble right here. Talked about his National League struggles and how much money he is still owed. Zito, at 31 years old, there was a column about a week ago by Tim Kawakami, no relation to Kenshin, of the San Jose Mercury News, saying that the Giants should just release him.
I don't think so.
Diaz down on strikes. And there's 2 outs here in the 4th.
2 called third strikes this inning. That was too close to take. No argument from Matt on that one.
So now it's David Ross's turn with 2 on and 2 outs in a 1-1 game. And the Sun back out at Turner Field. In the dirt, nice stop by Molina. Benji does a good job shifting back there. Good solid defensive catcher. Free agent at the end of the year. They have a good prospect named Buster Posey in their system. And he continues to climb. We'll see if they end up re-signing Molina or let him walk and hand it over to the rookie. The 1-0.
I would be a little reluctant to hand this staff over to a rookie catcher. Lincecum, Kane, Zito, Sanchez. A guy like Randy Johnson, if he's on the staff next year, he doesn't really matter if it's a kid behind the plate to him or not, because he knows what he wants to do. But with Molina's experience, he's a good help.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss. There's that good bender from Zito.
Yeah, that's the curveball and the changeup are certainly his pitches, but the curveball is tops on the list. Big downer.
I hear what you're saying, though, about the youth behind the plate. I think it was Mike Krukow that was telling me that there's only one everyday catcher in the major leagues that hasn't caught at least, I'm not sure there was 200 or 300 games at the minor league level.
That's a great observation.
I think Joe Mauer may have been the only one. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough position, quarterbacking the defense, handling a pitching staff. And Mac has certainly done a great job since breaking into the bigs in 2005 as John Smoltz' personal catcher. A foul back our way. Yeah, he's the only guy who hasn't caught at least 300 games in the minors. That's Joe Mauer, who's a primary starting catcher. Curveball missed a little bit high, and it's 3-2. Casey Kochman would be next if Ross can reach and extend the inning.
Zito wanted that pitch, so it was his turn to complain. Good curveball, but every time he's gone 3-2, he's come back with a fastball.
He did that time, but he missed with it, and they're loaded. So he's walked the bases loaded. 4th free pass issued by Zito. And Dave Righetti will go out and talk with the left-hander before he faces Kochman.
Casey hit the ball sharply his first time up, but Ishikawa made a play on him. Casey's 0 for 8 against Zito in his career.
Dave Righetti having a chat. We've talked so much about Kochman and the great defense that he's played. Our Geico quote of the day from Bobby Cox on Casey Kochman. It's unheard of for a first baseman not to give up an error this far into the season. There are a lot of hard hit balls over there, and if you get a glove on it, they're going to give you an error. He's been lights out.
And he does make good plays, but I think his true value is in what he saves on bad throws from infielders. A lot of the Giants players hustling in to get sunglasses. That didn't have them.
119 games with the Braves, no errors. There's that curve. Casey career 302 with the bases loaded. Comes up empty there.
Not sure what that pitch was. Followed up the curveball with something that wasn't his fastball. I'm not even sure he throws a slider. If he does, it's not very often, but that was one that just kind of backed up.
One and two now. Giants a run on 3 hits. Braves a run on 2 hits. As the Braves go for the sweep. Braves have knocked around the Giants pitching in this series. And it is now Atlanta with the top starters ERA in MLB. Got him to chase there, and that looked like a slider cutter. Braves leave him loaded. So Zito with 3 walks and 3 strikeouts here in. Our Blippy game summary. We go to the 5th, a 1-1 game. Oh, a scuffle at the start. But the drill in our Home Depot race. Here he comes. Look out. Good closing speed.
Yeah, he kind of brushed it off.
No.
He won by a bit. Just enough.
Zito pushes one foul. 9-1-2 for the Giants here in inning number 5. San Francisco right now in third place in the West, trailing the Dodgers by 10.5 games. Kawakami fires. And a liner to left. That'll fall for a hit. On pitch number 80 from Kenshin.
Salute today and tip of the cap to our pal Jay Krause, working low third today, working his last game. One of the best camera operators in the business. Last game of the season. Jerry's headed to Broken Arrow, Oklahoma to look after his father who has taken ill, and doing the right thing. And Jerry, we're going to miss you, but we know you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, we'll be thinking of you, pal, and your dad. Randy Wynn 0 for 2. That's a news bulletin starting in center field here today. And it comes up empty 0-2. It was interesting, the Aaron Rowan injury the other night. He got hit on the forearm in his first at bat. He hit a couple of more times, but when it bothered him was when he went to go throw. So it wasn't bothering him at the plate, or at least it didn't the subsequent at bats.
And he did pinch hit last night. Bounced into a fielder's choice in the 8th inning to end that inning.
Wow. Nice stop, David Ross.
Heard of 59 footers, 58 footers. That was about a 53 footer.
Yeah.
Way out in front of home plate. And for David Ross, when it's that far out in front of home plate, he just got to try to get over and somehow align himself with where it might go because of the spin. Yes, he
did.
Check
swing. Did he go? No, says Tim Timmons.
How far his hands went out there.
I think he held it.
Okay.
3-2 now. And that's in the dirt. So ball 4.
It's ahead 0-2.
Yeah. So 2 on and nobody out, and time for our Mercedes-Benz E-Class Attention Assist of the game. And KK getting some help from Chipper Jones as he threw out Fred Lewis. And Chipper, a tough play, and stole a hit from the left fielder. Our Mercedes assist of the game.
2 assists there. Chipper assisting Kawakami and Kochman assisting Chipper on the low throw.
2 on, nobody out, a 1-1 game. Chipper inside the base at third, guarding against the bunt.
Braves still looking for a bunt here, and Ross wants to make sure he's on the same page with Kawakami. Lewis has not been swinging the bat that well. 0 for 6 in this series. 1 for 15 against the Braves this year, as you said, Boog. And with first base open after a bunt, you figure that the matchup would be Kawakami to Molina if they walk Sandoval. And Molina certainly a double play candidate. But not bunting.
Yeah, not showing it. 2-0 now.
And no strikes.
Yeah. Not bunting there, and he came up empty on a fastball. So now 2-1. That heater at 91. Got in on his thumbs. It's even up.
We talk about hands on hitters and how you've got to let your hands work and trust your hands to react to pitches. And for Kawakami, he's got to trust his stuff. He's got to have confidence knowing, as he has the last 2 pitches, that he can get swings and misses.
McLeod under this one makes the grab, and the runners will hold on. Yeah, don't be afraid of contact.
Can't be afraid of contact with this team. That's the whole point. Yeah, they're going to swing and they're going to be aggressive early in the count, if not the first pitch. But make good pitches with your first pitch. Throw it to the outside corner for a strike and see what they do with it. Can't do it every time, but these guys are proficient at that enough to be able to do it more often than not.
Roger McDowell's going to go out with some specific instructions for Sandoval, who is their best hitter. Folks, everything you knew about fantasy football is about to change. Introducing the all-new Fox Fantasy Football with more customizable features and new ways to play. Log on to foxsports.com on MSN and join the next generation of fantasy football. Customizable.
Are you a fantasy football guy?
I am not.
Nor I. Baseball players like to do it. They have a good time with it.
Yeah, they do. And it can get serious from team to team.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Lowe, big fantasy football guy. Phil Falco is a huge fantasy football guy. But the king, at least the information that I get, Chris Van Zandt.
Is that right?
He is, yeah, borderline NFL GM status. Good pitch. Tapper back to the mound to second one. That's all they'll get. Had him reaching for it, Joe.
Well, first pitch was a slow curve. That get over curveball for a strike. Took it. Good pitch. Comes back with a fastball running away from him to the outside corner. They're going to swing. I'm telling you, they're going to swing. They're not going to take pitches, these Giants. You don't have to just miss and miss and miss and then have to come in with a strike, because then that's when they're going to hurt you. I think he actually swung at the first pitch, that slow curve, swung and missed.
At the corners, Zito at third, Sandoval at first. Molina 0 for 2. Fly to left and center. And the curve misses inside. Kawakami closing in on 100 pitches. So the bullpen's going to be a factor today for the Braves. There's no question about it. And Eric O'Flaherty up in the pen.
Coming into this game on this road trip, the Giants were hitting 192 as a team, and they were averaging 1.8 runs per game. They're not an offensive juggernaut.
Right field, well hit. Church back some more, and hauls it in. Great jump, great grab, Ryan Church. And Kawakami, after the first 2 reach, is able to pitch around it and get some help from the Wendy's for you, Joe Simpson.
I'd love some.
Wendy's way better play. And Ryan Church with this grab.
This equivalent of a double with cheese right here. Saved 1 run, probably 2. Fearless. Crashes into that chain link fence that protects the message board out there.
Yeah, you could basically say he stole a double with cheese away from Benji Molina.
No question about it.
Took it right out of his mouth.
Right off his table.
Folks out at the Chop House enjoying a nice afternoon. The Braves going for the sweep, 8-9-1.
Just got a first-hand report from one of the fans, Howard Feinberg, Elvis operator par excellence, with a busman's holiday here with his family today, said it is steamy down there today.
Believe it.
Temperature hasn't gone up that much, but the humidity has.
Church at the plate. Zito deals a strike. Ryan Church 0 for 1.
How often does it happen? The guy that has a double with cheese leads off the next inning.
Zito working quickly and firing strikes. Here comes pitch number 69 from the lefty. Fly ball to right. Sherholtz started back, now in a step.
He's thrown 70 pitches and has walked 4 guys. And Kawakami's walked 3 and has thrown close to 100. So the difference is Zito's getting early outs. Took 3 to get Church. He's getting some first pitch swings, and it's making his day a little easier.
Fury Hernandez hits, so yeah, short day for KK just because he wasn't able to throw enough strikes. Nothing on the Braves infielder, who's hitting 149 with a homer. That got in on his hands. Ishikawa into foul ground. Two away now, back to the top of the order. Good pitchers duel here this afternoon. Braves have been held to just 2 hits here today. An Escobar home run, and that was followed immediately by a Diaz single. And that's been all.
In those 3 games that Zito had pitched against Atlanta coming into today, the team had only mustered a .206 team average against him. And as mentioned, just this lineup 2 for 26 against him in their career.
Barry back to work. Lefty fires. And Nate drives this one center field. Win back some more. He's under it. And the Braves go 1-2-3. End of 5 at Turner Field. Still 1-1. Bobby has dialed up Eric O'Flaherty. 50th appearance for him. And so now it gets turned over to the pen.
And the pen's been good. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run for Kawakami, 3 walks, and all those walks and deep counts really spelled the end of his day. He only gave up the 1 run. Will get no decision, but probably could have pitched deeper into the ball game were it not for the deep counts.
So O'Flaherty will face Sherholtz, Ishikawa, and Uribe. All tied at 1-1. A steamy afternoon at Turner Field.
Chris Medlin loosening up behind O'Flaherty. Kawakami did not have a 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah. It's a line that doesn't look so bad. 5 innings, 4 hits, a run, 3 walks, and a strikeout. But just every at bat was seemingly extended by ball 1, strike 1, ball 2, ball 3.
Or 0-2 and then a walk.
Sure. O'Flaherty gets ahead of the left-handed hitter, and check swing. Did he go? Nope. That's Tim Timmons down there.
No, he didn't.
Begrudgingly. You're an honest man, Joe Simpson. Up the middle, past the diving Prado.
Good at bat there by Sherholtz. He's had some good swings in this series at times, and he looks good like that at bat. That's his 3rd hit of this series in 12 at bat, so that's not all that great. And he struck out 5 times. But this was a good at bat against a tough left-handed pitcher. Already made a good play defensively today, taking extra bases away from Church.
So now Ishikawa. Roller. See if they can turn it. Kochman, they get one. Back to first. Throw high. And that one bangs off the screen.
We've talked about how difficult this double play is to turn, and you wonder why, because the ball was hit right to Casey, and he's got a good angle to throw to shortstop. But part of the reason is Escobar's not sure who he's throwing to at first. There's like a gang of people standing over there. There's the runner, the pitcher, the first baseman. You can see the first base coach. So he's just got to throw it to the bag and hope somebody grabs it.
Yep. Ended up being Kochman closest to the bag, but throw got away, and Yunel saved an error by the screen that protects the Braves bullpen. You know, you think about it, almost every stadium has those screens. It saves guys a few So Eric O'Flaherty out of the game with one out man at first, top 6. John Shambi, Joe Simpson with you. And we bust out our Blackberries and make the AT&T call to the bullpen. And Chris Medlin will take over on the mound. Medlin to face Juan Uribe on for the 14th time.
Good work for him recently. Since the break, 1 inning against the Mets, 0s across. 1 game against the Giants, gave up a hit but struck out 2. He's gaining confidence in his stuff too. I like watching him pitch. The overused adjective of bulldog perhaps applies to him, but he is aggressive.
Is bulldog the pitcher's version of scrappy?
Yes. Yes. The thing I like about Chris is that if you're gonna, oh my, good stop, Kochman, good grief, that was a good play. Chris is a good move. Sometimes he really rushes his throw, and he threw that one short. Casey's almost got to play like a catcher here, and now he kept that from going over by the tarp. I don't know. He's thrown about 111 miles an hour.
By the way, something just happened at first that you rarely see with a right-handed pitcher on the mound. Ishikawa is going back to the bag as Medlin delivered the pitch. You see it all the time with a lefty on the hill, but with a righty it is rare.
Good change.
Watch him here.
Yeah. Not taking any chances after those first 2 shots he fired over there. Good choice there to go upstairs. Uribe chased some high fastballs earlier in the series.
Good pitch, struck him out, 2 down.
Chris Medlin is going to be a very valuable part of this Braves staff. If he's not already in your eyes, he is quickly becoming that. Whether he's going to be a starter or a reliever remains to be seen. I think most people still consider his future as a guy in the rotation. And sure gives Frank Wren and Bobby Cox some depth and flexibility.
Bunted towards third, hits the bag, base hit. Downs got out of the box too quickly. I think probably a smart play by Chipper. I don't know that he would have been able to get him.
It was bunted very hard. Chipper was back, and you're right, and it caught the corner of the bag. There are some teams, though, and I realize the Giants are having a hard time scoring runs, but there are a lot of managers that don't like that play there. Runner at first, they want down, swinging the bat, maybe hit a double and drive in a run. Why leave it to the pitcher? Okay, he got a hit last time up, but you can't count on that. Downs is a guy they brought up to swing the bat. He hit a lot of homers in the minor leagues. And with 2 out, see if you can find a gap. That's just his inexperience showing there.
Pickoff attempt down to second. Diving back in is Ishikawa.
They're trying to get him all over the place.
Got him swinging. Medlin a pair of strikeouts. Giants come up with a couple of hits, lead 2. We're midway in the 6th at Turner Field.
Coors Light 6th inning. Time now for the Coors Light freeze cam. Here comes Coltrane delivering what was a real good play by Nate Shearholtz out in right field, robbing Ryan Church of an extra base hit. That occurred back in the 3rd inning. And our Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Something frosty right now. It feel and taste pretty good.
Absolutely, sir. Well, the Giants and the Braves here at Turner Field, a 1-1 game. Giants first inning run on a Sandoval RBI double. The Braves the 2nd inning run on an Escobar solo homer. That's been it. But the Giants have 6 of the 8 hits in the game. John Shelby, Joe Simpson with you. And you can check us out on our Facebook page.
Congratulations to the Braves and to Dickey Broadcasting. It was announced today that the two have joined together on a new radio rights deal that will begin next year, a 5-year deal between Dickey Broadcasting and the Braves for all the radio broadcast rights. Congratulations to both.
The 3-0 to Prado. Leadoff walk. Good start to the 6th.
That's 5 walks. We have to look and see if he's walked that many this year in any game. 80 pitches.
He has once.
May 24th at Seattle in interleague play.
Prado at first, Chipper at the plate, and he's 0 for 2.
Threw him a changeup, a lot of off-speed pitches to Chipper today, and they have worked. He's only seen 6 pitches today and 3 at-bats.
He's interesting, Joe. Every once in a while, I feel like he'll have a game where he's just intent on being aggressive early in the count. And I am sure that he will have more than a thoughtful answer as to why. But at times it feels odd how aggressive he is as opposed to getting deep into a count and grinding it at bat.
I think for him it's so thought out and planned that you figure there, like you said, there was some reason for it. But if there was, like in that particular at bat, you got to be looking for that pitch. If you're going to go up there and swing at that first pitch, you got to be thinking you're going to get something off speed. That's all he's seen today is curveballs and changeups. So, okay, go up and look for it, and you get it, then you bang it. But he was fooled. So don't swing at it if you can help it.
I trust his ability to get deep into a count. A pitch, I love when, and I'm sure I've said it this year, but he only made one mistake or he only made two mistakes. That's never the case. Pitchers make mistakes throughout the course of the game. It's a matter of making a mistake and somebody capitalizing on it. And I just feel like Chipper at his best is spitting on tough pitches and then waiting for the guy to put one in the spot that he can hammer it.
They know they have a very small safe area to go to with Chipper, and they're trying real hard to make him swing at their pitch so they don't have to give him something better to hit. But he's helped Zito today. 6 pitches, all strikes. He has not seen ball one yet.
Prado was going on that last pitch. 2-2. Remember, against Oliver Perez, Chipper Jones in his first 3 at bats was 0 for 3 on 3 pitches.
Might be something consistent there because both he and Zito are left-handed.
One out, the count is full. The game is tied in the 6th. Braves as a team, 7th in the league in on-base percentage, continue to climb in runs per game. They're in the 6th spot right now. It is the Phillies leading the league in runs scored. Payoff pitch. Runner goes. Pitch is a little high. No, beg your pardon. Called strike 3, and it's strike him out, throw him out. And Diaz is pulling Escobar away from Jeff Kellogg.
And Bobby Cox is not long for this game by holding his hand up on such a high, on what he thought was such a high.
Back here, top 7, tied at 1. Jeff Kellogg and Bobby Cox with a discussion that led to the departure of the Braves manager.
I just thought it was a weird reaction by Kellogg. He didn't do his big ring up for called third strike because it was such a horrible pitch. I mean, Molina's standing up to catch the ball. See, he just stuck his hand out. And Escobar was taking his shin guard off and heading to first base. It was just a real weird, slow action all around. And you can kind of read lips there from Jeff Kellogg. And finally threw him out.
Chris Medlin continues on the hill as we go to the 7th. 1-1 our score, and Randy Wynn. Left center field, Diaz and McLouth out there. And that one will rattle off the wall, Win into second. And the Braves killer continues in that department.
Giants have had base runners on all day long. No 1, 2, 3 inning, and that's something that had been easy for Braves pitchers in the first 3 games of this series. So far, they've left 8 men on base.
Go ahead, run aboard. Corners in. Fred Lewis.
Gretchen Caney looked it up when it looked like a bunt situation for Lewis his last time up. He hasn't had a sacrifice in 2 years.
I mean, you know, I love the big ball, but in this spot, late in the game, it's kind of shown to be that hits and runs are tough to come by. I don't understand why you wouldn't here put a guy at third and your best hitter at the plate.
And if he's not capable of bunting, you're hoping that he can pull the ball to get him to third base, or else why is he batting second?
Pick off play, safe. Oh, it was close. It was close. Mark Wegner barking at Yunel Escobar.
Well, Mark Wegner's 1 for 2 today. If he got this one right, because he missed one earlier when Diaz stole second. Ooh, oh my.
Center field for Nate McLouth, looking up into the high sky, and he makes the grab. Win not going anywhere. 1 down. You walk Sandoval here, or what do you do?
Yes, I think I do.
He's doubled in, the only run of the game for the Giants. He's walked and wrapped into a fielder's choice. Braves' only run came in the second. It was a Yunel Escobar solo home run off the foul pole down the right field line.
Molina, right-handed hitter, third on the team in double plays, hit into. Very aggressive. Gets behind in the count. He's flied out 3 times today. Last time up was on an 0-2 pitch, I believe, that I'm not sure how he hit it, but he hit it deep. And a good play by Church out there into the fence.
First pitch swinging, Escobar racing out, Diaz in, and Matt makes the grab. I'll tell you what, Yunel Escobar, he got some energy in him today because that thing went in the air and he was hauling after that thing.
I'm telling you, he's just had a little hop in his step since he got that award as Player of the Week. He's had a smile on his face. He was already moving a little to his right and then bolted from his position. Diaz was right there.
I think the other thing too, Joe, he had kind of a heart-to-heart talk with the media. Frank Wren was in there, and he sat down and talked with some of the writers about, I wouldn't say disagreements, but the fact that a couple of different times he didn't talk to the media. specifically after he missed that sign in the game against the Mets.
Right.
Line drive caught by the shortstop, and Medlin gets out of it. Great work, Chris Medlin. Leadoff double left stranded. Time to stretch. Tied at 1 in Atlanta. By Verizon Wireless, by McDonald's, by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by Blimpie, and by Dodge. All season long, Atlanta Braves baseball on Sports South, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, low price every day. Barry Zito continuing on the hill.
He's had a series of games this month, Boog, that have kind of been good, bad, good, bad. At St. Louis, July 2nd, only went 4 1/3. Next game against Florida, he beat them, went 8 1/3. Next game against the Padres, 4 1/3, 9 runs. Last game against the Pirates, he lost, but he pitched into the 7th inning and gave up 2. And today he's into the 7th, only a 2-hitter working. So he's been a little inconsistent, to say the least.
Matt Diaz will stand in. Diaz 1 out of 2. Rips that one. Sandoval collects it. Takes his time and fires him out. And as per usual, Matt busting it down the line. 1 away. Guys on both sides have been upset with the zone behind the plate by Jeff Kellogg. That's a nice play, man.
Hot shot when you're in on the grass, to be sure.
But a 1-1 game, and no doubt it's been a pitcher's strike zone. And the complaints have been in and out, up and down. Rip, foul. I think one of the problems with the strike zone is the height, not width, because I mean the plate is the plate. It's got to cross it. But from a height standpoint, the rule book definition is armpits to the hollow of the knee. Rip to left, Fred Lewis over. He'll pick it up on a bounce. And a 1-out hit for David Ross. 3rd knock of the day for the Braves. And even though, Joe, that is the rule book definition, they're not calling anything near the armpits as far as the height.
I agree with what I heard the other day. If you're not going to call that high strike, okay, good swing by David. He had 3 good swings in that at bat. If you're not going to call that, that's fine, as long as you're calling that stuff around the knees. It might have been Greg Maddux was saying that the other day when he was in town. more often than not, if you're throwing above the belt, it's going to get hit anyway if it's over the plate. But call the strike at or just below the knees, at the hollow of the knees. Is that what you said? They're not calling that one. You know, we see that all the time, that we have to say, well, it must have been low, but it really wasn't.
But like, for example, they have all these new systems out there now. I mean, it started with Quest Tech. Now there is a product called Pitch FX that tracks the strike zone in every single ballpark. It's available at MLB.com online. But I don't know where they actually put the top end of the strike zone. Based on what?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I do. And I think that's why that pitch is not going to get called as often. That's why that curveball to Escobar was so ridiculous.
Breaking ball in for a strike. That's the curve. 1-2 to Kochman.
That's a hittable pitch for a left-handed hitter if you're looking for it. And he's thrown it to Casey about 4 times today. But you've really got to be sitting on it, and you got to trust that it's not going to be in your ear hole of your helmet. You've got to look for it early in the count to be thrown at you, because then it hangs there just beautifully like a batting practice pitch. Ryan Church is on deck. I'm sure he'll get one.
Bouncer to the right side. And Downs gets the only out at second. So 2 away with a man at first before Ryan Church comes up. It's time for a money and energy saving bright idea from Georgia Power. Use a programmable thermostat correctly to save money and energy. Go to GeorgiaPower.com for more energy saving tips. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Okay, I'm channeling Church. Okay? Channeling.
What are you channeling?
Look for that slow curve early in the count. He's going to throw it at you. Just hang in there. Got one more. If it goes to 0-2 and he hasn't thrown it, good luck, Ryan.
Then the channeling ends and you're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And the channeling has come to a conclusion.
Got a lot of interference on the channel right now.
Yeah. Zito about to deliver pitch number 100.
And it could be that's what Ryan was looking for when he went up there and didn't get it.
Now that's some type of slider or cutter. We haven't seen it too many times today, but his curve is going to be in the 70s, and that pitch has some break, some movement, and it's at 81.
81 and 82 all day. Looks like a slider.
Ross Small lead at first.
That was a real good defensive swing.
Beg your pardon, Kochman, the runner at first. Tied at 1 in the 7th.
4th inning, he walked the bases loaded, but he also struck out 3 that inning.
They've had Jeremy Affeldt warming up, and the Giants boast the 2nd best bullpen ERA in the National League.
Barry Zito won the Cy Young Award in 2002 with Oakland. He's been an All-Star 3 times, but none of that has transferred over to San Francisco. That was all in Oakland. A couple of good swings by Church. Fouled off that curve. That was the pitch I was hoping he would get early in the count.
Zito looking in. Kochman at first. And that one fouled back. It was interesting to watch the process out in Oakland. Billy Beane had Tim Hudson, Mark Mulder, and Barry Zito. And the way he had run things, everybody knew that those guys were eventually going to go because there was cost. But who would go when? People speculated. Who would they trade and who would they hang on to? They hung on to him, at least in part, because he was the healthiest. He was the guy that was able to stay healthy the longest of them. Remember, Huddy had some hip issues, and Mulder had some problems.
Some oblique problems, too, for Tim. Yeah, well, we just had our trivia question was about who's pitched more innings than Zito, only a couple of other left-handers.
Here's the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Went too far, defensive swing, and Zito strikes him out. Barry Zito, excellent here today. He's held the Braves to a run on 3 hits through 7, and we're still locked up. KFC, by AT&T, by Acura, and by Arby's. Back here at the ballpark, and our AT&T call to the bullpen. Bobby Cox will bring in his 4th pitch of the afternoon. Ball goes out to Mike Gonzalez. Kawakami started, then O'Flaherty, Medlin, and now the lefty, who is pushed past a bout of tendinitis.
Worked here last night, but just to 2 batters. Worked a third of an inning, got an out, gave up a base hit to Randy Wynn, of course. A little infield chopper.
Hey, by the way, I love to name drop on the broadcast. I just got back-to-back Grant texts. I got one from, or actually, a Gant and a Grant text. A Ron Gant text that says Mark Burley is perfect through 5 2/3 at home against Tampa. So Ronnie Gant checking us out. And then Mark Grant, former Brave pitcher and current Padre broadcaster, just wanted to let you know that he's channeling a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
I know he is.
We're with you, Mud.
How about the Padres? They played at home yesterday against Florida, got shut out, and then had to hop on the charter and fly to Philadelphia for a makeup game today. I have to double check, see where they're going tomorrow, but hopefully that's on the way to someplace close.
Oh, that hit Gonzalez. Rolls towards first, and Kochman can't pick it up. And let's see if Mike is okay. I mean, that thing smoked him.
He's walking gingerly.
Oh, that's no good. I couldn't tell where it got him. I had hoped it got him on his leg.
That's what I was hoping. No, it wasn't a leg, or he wouldn't have been able to dart over there like that. Put his hand up here to defend himself. I think it got his hand.
Yeah.
Gino Cadahia out in Bobby's stead after Bobby was ejected in the 6th. Peter Moylan is up, loosening up, but they're going to take Mike in to have a better look, and I think that's probably smart.
That is scary and not good news. One of the Braves' top relievers hurt right there. We'll take a break. Sleeve.
Yeah, it's not the hand. And watch where he points. Above the wrist. I'd like to say that's better. But as easy as it is to take a shot to the arm and have one of those bones crack, it's not any better.
AT&T call to the bullpen. And big old Boone Logan coming into the game. 8 1/3. I think the only thing that surprised me is he's got good arm, good life on the fastball. Only 2 strikeouts in 8 1/3.
Hasn't given up a run in his last 7 outings. Last time he gave up a run was June 25th against the Yankees, almost a month ago. Has not pitched in this series. Pitched twice against the Mets. Worked an inning and a third. 0s across, 1 strikeout. There's that rocket from Shearholtz that got Mike Gonzalez. That's the second hard hit base hit for Shearholtz off a lefty. Got O'Flaherty last time up.
So Boone Logan takes over. By the way, Mark Burley now perfect through 6.
A lot of baseball greats celebrating birthdays today. Late great Pee Wee Reese, late great Don Drysdale, Nomar Garcia Parra, birthday today. Glenn Diamond.
Glenn Diamond today? I didn't get a chance, so we wandered into the booth.
51 today.
Wow.
It's not often he gets mentioned with Drysdale, Reese, and Garcia Parra.
Braves will head off on the road after this afternoon's game. They had a couple of big series, Milwaukee and Florida, our AirTran road schedule. Vasquez, Parra, Hanson, Gallardo, and Lowe and Looper. Sports South, and then Sunday Braves on Fox Sports South.
They didn't bunt last inning with a leadoff double, but they are bunting here, choosing to use Ishikawa against a left-handed pitcher to try to get one down.
And that one bunted to first. Kochman up with it, looked at second, and he was safe at first. Just kind of flipped it over there.
He did something kind of odd like that earlier in this homestand where he fielded a bunt, looked to second, and then really made a real soft lollipop toss to first and just barely got the out on that occasion. Hey, Ishikawa runs pretty good for a big guy. Had thoughts of going to second, but put too much air under that one. And that was the right call.
No doubt. Yeah, they're going to go base hit. Well, with Bobby Cox having been ejected from this game, Chino Katahia out, and he's going to make a double switch. Yeah, we'll take the break with him. Still tied at 1, no outs in the 8th. And the sidewinding right-hander out for the 53rd time this year.
Braves had a well-rested bullpen coming into this game, and because of the injury to Gonzalez, it's kind of scrambled things. All the lefties have been used. O'Flaherty, Logan, and Gonzalez. Medlin and now Moylan. And that leaves Acosta and Soriano in the bullpen in what is a tie game.
Pete leading the majors in appearances, coming off Tommy John surgery. 3 straight scoreless appearances for the right-hander. Uses that heavy sinker, and they'd love to get a ground ball in this spot. Corners in against the Uribe. Bunted off the plate. Moylan looked at third. Throw to first. Gets away from Kelly Johnson. Here comes a runner to the plate, and he'll score. Kelly couldn't find the ball. And Chino Katahia quickly out to talk with the plate umpire Jeff Kellogg about interference.
Boy, how many times have we seen that play affect a game for Atlanta this year? Again, the pitcher on this occasion on the bunt took too long looking at a play that he didn't make. In other words, for Moylan, he looked to third, and then by the time he started to throw to first base, he had to put a little extra on the throw, and it wasn't very accurate.
And he had no shot at third.
No, high chopper, that's just almost automatic. And look, he was flat-footed. Here's a good look at this. And he definitely was in fair territory coming back to the bag. And that's not the third or fourth time that's hurt the Braves.
Matt Downs trying to bunt. That got a piece of David Ross. Ouch. So a 2-1 game now. The Giants lead. And still nobody out with runners at first and second.
Well, there's got to be an error charged, and I'm assuming to Moylan to allow the runner to score. Probably a sacrifice and an error, but no error charged yet.
Real quick, David Ross. Oh.
Off the forearm.
Giants without a lot of power. Next to last in the majors in homers, and they have gone single bunt in order to take a 2-1 lead.
And Downs had a bunt single his last time up.
I know I've said it 9,000 times, but anytime there's a play, I can't help myself. That play at first, it looked like Uribe was in fair territory. But the 45-foot lane, I still think, is one of the dumbest rules in the game, if not the dumbest, that you have to stay in that lane to run, and yet if you stay in that lane to run, you can't touch the base because the base is in fair territory and the 45-foot lane is in foul territory.
I understand the spirit of the rule, though, that you've got to allow the defense a chance to make a play, and then you can fade into the bag, if you will. The point is that you cannot run in fair territory. Great camera angle here. Last 4 or 5 steps, maybe the whole trip from home plate. He's in fair territory. That is interference.
That is against the rules. I agree. All I'm saying is if you're running in foul territory the whole time, how do you touch the base? Went too far, struck him out. Good pitch.
Couldn't get the bunt down, then chased a bad ball. John Bowker will pinch hit.
So Barry Zito, a good afternoon, holds the Braves to a run on 3 hits through 7, right now in line for the win. And strike 1 to Bowker. Kenshin Kawakami, short afternoon. He just used up a whole lot of pitches over 5 innings, gave up a run on 4 hits, walked 3. That's outside. Pete's been feeling stronger and stronger, you can tell. Velocity's gotten back up above 90. Outside corner 1 and 2. People may forget that Peter Moylan in 2007 appeared in 80 games, threw 90 innings, gave up 65 hits, and was 5-3 with a 1.80 ERA.
It's pretty salty.
nasty pitch struck him out, 2 away. I mean, 90 innings of 1.80 ERA. I mean, that's as valuable as relief pitching gets.
Well, think about how the Braves season started last year. Counting on him, counting on Soriano, knowing you're going to get Gonzalez back for your bullpen, and how strong that was going to be. And we weren't 6 weeks into the season, and both Moylan and Soriano were down and down for the count. That was just huge, not to mention what happened to the rotation.
Here's Randy Wynn with 2 away in first and second. And strike 1. They've charged Moylan with an error. They'll give Uribe a sacrifice and charge Moylan with the error that allows the run to score. And that's the difference in the game. It's 2-1 Giants in the top of the 8th. John Shambi, Joe Simpson from Turner Field. The old business person special, 31,727 here today. Check swing, and he did not go. Tim Timmons on the call. Joe Simpson, feel like taking a look?
Yes. Yes, he did. I cut him a break earlier, but come on, he's even dancing. He's trying to run out of the box to make it look less obvious.
Did they add a no dancing rule?
Yes.
Base hit right field. Church up with it. Church with a throw to third. Tag, no, it gets away from Chipper. Getting up and coming in to score Uribe, and a huge play. 2 runs in, and it's now a 4-1 game.
Randy Wynn has struck out twice in this series, but I'll be darned if I can remember when they were.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he gets a hit every time up against Atlanta. And he pretty much does. That slider stayed up, had a lot of the plate, and he just doesn't miss mistakes like this. Church came up firing, thinking he had a better shot at third for an out, and Chipper tried to apply the tag before he caught the ball.
Fred Lewis now, 4-1 game. They haven't ruled the error yet. There's obviously going to be one coming. My guess is that they
should be an E5.
And they're going to say E9 right now.
Well, and the reason I'm sensitive to that is because I played the outfield, and while that throw was not right on the bag, it wasn't a bad throw, and Chipper's mistake of trying to go back for the tag is what allowed the ball to get by. So to me, that's an E5.
Up the middle, base hit. And the Giants have broken this game open late. RBI single by Lewis, and it is now 5-1.
Struck out Downs, struck out Bowker, made him look bad, and really got ahead of Wynn too, but the last 2 guys have made him pay for that. And Lewis finds a hole. Two errors in the inning, and another mistake by Kochman that have plagued the Braves this inning.
Yeah, this inning is not really about the pitching specifically as it is about mistakes on the defensive side. They got a runner on, the Giants did, and then Ishikawa is trying to give the Braves an out. They couldn't do it. They tried to give him another out, and Moylan was intent on looking at third, and that was the wrong choice. It cost him time, and then eventually the throw hit the runner. And so the Braves, who've been playing airtight defense here today in the 8th inning, it kind of comes unglued. Runner goes. And safe at second. So Fred Lewis with a stolen base.
like he got in there. 7th stolen base of the year for Lewis.
Fly ball left field. Diaz there, and he's got it. Giants come up with 4 runs on 4 singles. Get some help from the Braves defense. Center field, tough inning for Peter Moylan and company. 5-1 Giants have taken the lead. And how about another star pitching performance sequence brought to you by Texaco. Barry Zito, strong effort today, allowing a run on 3 hits and had the Braves off balance all day, Joe.
He did. He mixed his pitches beautifully and had a good curveball. Walked 5 guys, but he pitched around them, especially in the 4th inning when he walked the bases loaded, but recorded 3 strikeouts to avoid any damage. 6 strikeouts in all. The only run came on an Escobar home run off the right field pole in the 2nd inning.
And here's Kelly Johnson as he'll deal with Jeremy Affeldt, who's been very good this season.
Worked a 1-2-3 inning last night. Did walk a batter, but got a double play to erase him.
0-2 to Kelly, who's activated off the 15-day DL today. Hit .308, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers, 16 RBIs in 13 games at AAA Gwinnett.
Last 3 or 4 days, he has been tearing it up. Had a 2 home run game, drove in 7. So could be one of those things where Kelly, who is such a streaky hitter, is on one of those hot streaks and can come in and get back on track. It's been a rough year for him.
I think that might have hit him, no? It sounded like he grazed his jersey. Did not 1 and 2. By the way, Mark Burley now perfect through 7. And we're being told Mike Gonzalez left forearm contusion, x-rays negative. That's good news. Ground ball up the middle and through. That was hard hit and a good at bat from Kelly Johnson.
Boy, if there's anything that'll make Kelly feel good, it's coming back and against a tough lefty, getting a base hit his first at bat. Mentally, that does wonders for a guy. Fastball away from him, and he drives it right back through the middle. The way the Braves have been swinging the bat, the way they've played offensively, Boog, they could come right back and hang a 4th spot or 5 on the Giants.
Nate's 0 for 3 today. He's popped to short, grounded into a double play, and flied to center. It's interesting. Sandoval creeping in over there at third onto the grass, guarding against the bunt. It's not something Nate does a lot.
Yeah, and that's fine. Play in there. You might slap one by him.
Now he's taking a step or two back. Breaking ball clips the corner, 1-2.
Nate's had a rough homestand. He's been on base with some walks. Has 3 hits in this series, but for the homestand, 3 for 30 since the break.
So 2-2 now with Johnson at first. The Braves are down 4. They've been out hit today 11-4. Bouncer to second. Downs to Uribe on to first, and they turn it.
Uribe's pretty quick out there. I know he's their backup guy to Renteria, but he's been very impressive around the bag at second in Renteria's absence. Quick exchange there from glove to hand and good throw.
Yeah, Juan Uribe, a guy that can play all over, and of course was the shortstop on the team that won it all with the White Sox in 2005. Prado takes in the dirt, 2-0. Prado hitless today. The Braves with only 4 hits. Make it 5.
Double play hurt. Nate's hit into 2 double plays today, and he had hit into only 2 all year coming into this game. Braves coming into this game, in this series, their last 9 runs have come with 2 outs, so maybe they can put something together here with 2 down.
And been one of the best 2-out run scoring teams in the majors all year long. I don't know what to make of that stat. I mean, I think it just sort of is what it is. I don't know that I think of that as being a repeatable skill that you can put together a team that's good at scoring with 2 outs. You know what I mean? You just do it.
Well, I think it speaks to some of the guys clutching up. I mean, they can go up there and be relaxed with 2 out, knowing that they can drive in a run and not press too much. Some guys can't do that.
Ground ball knocked down by Affeld. And Chipper retired. That's the inning. No runs, couple of hits. Braves leave a man. We'll go to the 9th in Atlanta. a win. 7 innings, 3 hits, gave up just 1 run. Escobar drove in that run with a solo homer. Mike Gonzalez left the game, was struck on the left forearm by a line drive off the bat of Nate Sherholtz. X-rays negative, and the Giants scoring 4 times in the 8th inning. So a 5-1 game as we go to the 9th. And our RBs changes around the league. How about the Houston Astros? They always seem to put on that burst at some point. The Astros and the A's have had some legendary second-half performances. Well, they've won 17-25, a game back in the Central, swept the Cardinals, and the Yankees are hot right now.
4 teams in the Central within 2 games of the lead. That'll be fun to watch. Braves can go up and do some damage in Milwaukee and put a crimp in their thoughts about creeping up on the Cardinals.
By the way, in Chicago on the south side, Mark Burley, 7 2/3 innings of perfect baseball.
Was it last year or the year before he threw a no-hitter?
I believe it was a couple of years ago. Yeah. Good pitch. Slow breaking ball, 1-1. Manny Acosta, well, his phone was ringing, and he picked it up. The AT&T call to the bullpen. Right there, a heater at 93. Manny out for the 21st time. Stopped by David Ross. Giants 5 runs on 11 hits. And of those 11 hits, 2 are for extra bases. Got him looking. Molina knew it, 1 away.
Isn't it something, though, Boog, looking back at the 8th inning, how if you don't play good defense, if you don't execute fundamentally on defense, how quickly it can all come back to haunt you?
Extra outs, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because when you look at defense and you talk about not making plays, here's the thing it points to, and I know this is going to sound odd. Hit hard, off the glove of Prado. Kelly will pick it up and not make a throw wisely. Nate Sherholtz, 3 for 5 today. Last 3 at bats, absolute bullets each time.
Quick hands on his swing. First 2 hits were off lefties. Then he got a fastball about belt high out over the plate and a rocket off the glove of Martin. That no-hitter for Burley, by the way, April of '07 against Texas.
And he is now through 8 innings of perfect baseball. The point I was going to make, where I go with the defense, is back to offense. It's again why on-base percentage is life in this game. Offensively and defensively, it's about not making outs and getting outs. I mean, that's really what you're talking about. If you're going to give them away, it makes it that much tougher to shut the other team down. And offensively, if you keep not making outs, good things are going to happen.
Guys are going to keep running the bases.
Right. Softly hit, hop for Chipper, turn to first. Oh, double play. What a quick turn at second by Kelly Johnson. He got rid of that one in a heartbeat. 5-4. Now back here in Atlanta, Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot. A 1-1 game, and then the Giants hit the jackpot, did they? 4 runs in the 8th. Wynn and Lewis knock in big runs, and the Giants get some help from the Braves defense. Here's Fred Lewis with an RBI single up the middle. And it's a 5-1 game as we go to the bottom of the 9th. And Bruce Bochy bringing in the closer, the hard-throwing right-hander.
One of the hardest throwers in the National League.
And Brian Wilson fires in a strike.
.24 saves for the guy. Picked up a save on the 19th at Pittsburgh and recorded a strikeout. 8 strikeouts in his last 6 1/3 innings.
Our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. Yunel Escobar, he's all over every leaderboard, but batting average here in the month of July, only Eric Ibar of the Angels is higher. And he's been a huge factor in the Braves' offensive resurgence. Right center field, Torres over, he's got it. And 1 up and a 1 down.
One of the key at-bats of this game was Yunel Escobar when he was called out on strikes in the 6th inning. That resulted in a strike him out, throw him out double play and brought Bobby Cox out of the dugout. He was ejected and had every right to argue with what was a ridiculous call on a very high curveball from Zito.
Another inning as well with a Braves opportunity, the 4th. 1 out, 1st and 2nd. Matt Diaz was called out looking. He didn't like a couple of the calls from Jeff Kellogg. Braves eventually had him loaded with 2 outs, and Kochman struck out swinging. This to the hole. Uribe off balance, showing off a strong arm. And the Braves down to their final out.
Nice play again by Uribe. Giants have handled Chipper. He bounced out last inning with a runner on, bounced back to the pitcher. Just 5 for 27 on the year against the Giants with 10 strikeouts.
Brian McCann will hit for David Ross. Ross a strikeout, a walk, and a single. Also got to wonder if his forearm might be bothering him a little bit. Speaking of Ross, took a foul ball off his arm. .97 with that one from Wilson.
With some movement. Left-handers hitting just .139 against him for the year. 10 for 72. Kind of tough to come off the bench and be able to catch up to that.
Wilson ready as McCann waits. And that one smoked into left center field. Extra bases. McCann will rumble into second.
Leave it to Brian McCann to come off the bench in the 9th inning and go the other way on a guy throwing 97. And at the same time extend a hitting streak. Only got 1 shot at it today, and he's now hit in 11 straight.
That guy can hit, man.
He's something else.
Norton will hit in the pitcher spot. And ball 1 to Greg. Little conference, and Molina trots back behind the plate. Braves off to Milwaukee after this one. Vasquez and Parra tomorrow night. Dodge Braves live at 7:30 right here on Sports South. Mark Burley now 8 1/3 innings of perfect baseball out there in Chicago. McCann at second. Braves down 5-1.
Wow. On the corner at the knees at 97. Great homestand. Just a little bit of a bad taste left in your mouth from that 8th inning.
Yeah, again, you don't know how it's going to play out, but mistakes.
Yeah, it wasn't poor pitching.
No.
Giants just decided they'd bunt the Braves to death.
Two and two now.
See if Greg can catch up to this fastball.
On a bounce, Downs picks it up, throws him out, and that's the ball game. Giants salvage the finale. The Braves, though, take 3 of 4 from the Mets and 3 of 4 from the Giants and complete a 6-2 homestand. So Atlanta playing good ball right now.